Good evening, guys. It's Sunday evening again. We are going to be back to reading from The Giving Box by Brad Rogers. We're just going to jump right into it. We are on page 47. This one's called The Gold in the Ground. From the Kazakh on the steppes of Central Asia comes this tale about how unselfishness and good-heartedness can reap rich rewards in the long run. Just think about how many kind people all through this story made caring decisions that contributed to the happy ending. There were once two friends and a farmer. Let me start over. There were once two friends, a farmer and a shepherd. They both were poor, but they worked hard and cared about each other. When a disease killed all of the shepherd's sheep, his friend the farmer gave him some land for him to begin farming. As my friend, you have half my heart. Please take half my land. So it was because of the kindness of his friend that the shepherd began to plow his half of the land. What should he find there as he dug in the field but a pot of gold? He took the pot of gold to the farmer. It came from the field that you gave me. This gold is yours. Oh no, said that farmer. You did the work of digging it out of the ground. You found it. The gold is yours. The two friends argued a while, but they had an idea. One had a daughter and the other had a son who had great affection for each other. They hoped to marry each other but had no money. Now the fathers had a way to help them both. They could give the pot of gold to their children. After the wedding, though, the young couple came to their fathers to return the gold. It isn't right for us to keep this. We should not have the benefit of money that really belongs to our fathers. And no talking could convince them otherwise. Now what could the fathers do? Again they argued, each wanting the other to have the gold. They came up with a new plan. They would ask advice from the man who was known to be the wisest in the land. Traveling with the gold, they came to the hut of the wise man and found him there with 4 young students. When the wise man heard their story, he asked his students what they would suggest. The first student said, I would give the gold to the leader of the land, the Khan, as he owns all the treasures found in our land. It should be his. The wise man shook his head. That answer did not make him happy. The second student said, I would give the gold to the farmers because the court would say that it is theirs. The wise man frowned, not happy with this answer either. The third student said, I would put the gold back in the ground where I found it, since no one will accept it. The wise man held his head back in his hands, not pleased with this answer either. The last student said, I would use the gold to buy seeds and plant those seeds in the poorest section of our country so that those who are poor and hungry will have food to eat. Hearing that answer, the wise man hugged the poor student for his caring advice. That's what should be done with the pot of gold, he said, and you will be blessed for thinking of those who are hungry and for finding a way to help them. The young student set off with the pot of gold to buy the seeds for grain, fruits, and vegetables. On his way to the marketplace, he heard the chiming of many caravan bells and loud screeching noises. On the backs of camels, he saw cages and cages of trapped birds crying for their freedom. Overcome by his feelings for the birds, the young man approached the caravan leader. Here is a pot of gold that should pay for all those birds. Please let them free. The caravan leader thought the young man was joking, but when he saw all the gold, he grabbed it and ordered the birds to be set free. With a great flapping of their wings, the birds flew off out of their cages and into the sky. As he walked along, the students felt good about freeing the birds. As he watched the birds fly, he was filled with great joy. But all of a sudden, his heart sank. He started to doubt the wisdom of what he had done. How could he have just given the money to the caravan leader? It wasn't his money, and now the poor in the land would remain hungry. Tired and discouraged, the student sat down under the shelter of a tree and fell asleep. Out of nowhere came a magnificent bird with a lovely voice singing to the young man. You have done such a kind deed in freeing us. We can't get your gold back, but we can help in other ways. Just wait and see. When the young man opened his eyes, he saw an astonishing sight. In the fields around him were hundreds of birds, pecking away at the ground, dropping seeds into the holes they had dug. And magically the seedlings turned into shoots and into plants and trees full of fruits and vegetables. There was no finer farm in all the land. He ran back to the wise man, ecstatic about what he had seen. Soon, all throughout the land, the poor and hungry heard about this magnificent farm that was for just them. They walked through the magic garden, sharing with each other the abundant food growing there. The farmer and the shepherd smiled to each other. With their own eyes, they saw what good came from their pot of gold, and the kindness and generosity too. And we'll finish just like normal with a poem from Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, poetry of Fred Rogers. And I think we are on the bottom of page 28. It's called Smile in Your Pocket. Smile in your pocket. There's a smile in your pocket. There's a smile up your sleeve. There's a smile in your pocket, and it isn't make-believe. There's a smile in your pocket. There's a smile in your shoe. There's a smile in your pocket without anything to do. Now a pocket is handy for candy and dandy for a string. A pocket is nifty for folks who are thrifty with wrappers and rings, all sorts of things. But a smile in your pocket feels a bit out of place because a smile in your pocket wants to be on your face. I have to remember that we're going to be on the other side of that in 2 weeks, because next week we won't be reading from the Giving Box. We still got a few stories left to go before we're going to finally finish that off. And then next week we'll pick back up with some of the 5-minute stories, which I think the next one's going to come out of the Avengers storybook. So until next week, Pawpaw loves all you guys. I'm very proud of you. And see you next time.